If you are in the trades or services industry and you're struggling to understand your profitability on a per project basis, I made this guide for you and you can use it for completely free. I'm going to walk you over the 4 simple steps that you need to take in order to get financial clarity on each job that you do, and I'm also going to carefully walk you through each step. The first step that you need to take is you need to define your hierarchy and your granularity. You want to determine what service lines you have in your business and how to best tag your projects. For example, a home builder might choose to do it like this. They might have 2 service lines in their company, like home remodels and new build-outs, and they might choose to break it down deeper into different properties, like property A and property B in home remodels, and property C and property D in new build-outs. You only want to go as deep as 2 layers in this scenario because going any more granular will be too difficult to track. The second step that you would want to take is you want to set up input layers for project expenses. This just means that you're being as transparent as possible on the costs that you incur on each job. We use tools like Ramp Spend Management, which is going to be completely free, to create project-specific virtual charge card on each open project that we have. Using the example of the home builder earlier, if we have 3 open projects that we're working on right now, we're going to create a specific charge card on each one, like a charge card for property C, property B, and property A. We're then going to integrate that to our QuickBooks Online account for financial reporting later down the road. The wonderful thing about Ramp is that we can create unlimited virtual cards and then terminate them once a project is finished. It also allows us to set up upfront budgets on each one. That way, we never overspend on every job that we take. The key thing in this step is that we want to charge every expense related to one single project to their specific charge card. Once that project is finished, we want to terminate that card and then open up another one for a new project. Now that we have our expenses organized, the next natural thing for us to do is to do the same thing for our project income. We can easily do this in QuickBooks Online by using the Projects and Classes functionality. The workflow works like this. Every time we take on a new job, we're going to create a project for that job in QuickBooks Online. And then whenever we send an estimate or an invoice to the customer, we need to make sure that that's linked to the project that we just created in QuickBooks. Let's imagine that we have an invoice for $5,000 of our labor related to a new build and $2,000 of labor related to a home remodel. Well, we can take that $5,000 and classify it as a new build and take the $2,000 and classify it as a home remodel. The important part in this step is that we make sure that every estimate or invoice that is sent out is linked to a project that we created in QuickBooks Online. Otherwise, project tracking is not going to work. Also, you need to at least have the Plus or Advanced version of QuickBooks Online to have the projects and classes enabled. The final step in our process is running the per project profit and loss statements themselves. If you followed the first 3 steps correctly, every time you click projects in the left-hand navigation field of QuickBooks Online, it will break down your total income and cost on a per project basis. You can also see your profit margin, and you can even track the time you spent on each project. We'll also now be able to run a profit and loss by class, where we can see how much money we've made and lost on a per service line level. So for this report, we can see that new construction made $18,000 and cost $15,000, and our remodel service line made $33,000 and cost $2,000. We can now figure out which service lines are most profitable to us. We can estimate smarter, price with precision, and catch losses early so that we know when we're slipping before the job ends. We specialize in per job profit and loss tracking for trade services at Mindrest Accounting. If you'd rather have all of this done for you, schedule a consultation at mindrestaccounting.com.